This the Mixtape Queens.
What's up, family? Welcome to another episode of the Mixtape Queens Podcast, where we bring you the hottest and most talented artists in the music industry.
Today, we have French Babii, a French female rapper and songwriter based out of New York, and she is killing it, y'all. Welcome, Queen.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing very well over here. We're excited to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I see you working. I love it.
Yes, we're working hard, and we started the podcast in January. So it's only been about 5 months that we've been, going full force on the podcast, and it's really turned into something special.
I'm glad to hear it. Don't give up. Keep working. Hard work pays off.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Well, we found you on Instagram a little while ago, not too long ago. We like to search for female artists, and we came across your page. So we send you a message and say hi, and you've been so sweet to us. We've gotten to know you a little bit and see you a little bit, but we're getting ready to get to know you better through the podcast and share your voice with some of the fans that, want to get to know you and some of our fans as well.
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. So let's take it way back.
Okay.
In your early childhood, when are some of the first times you remember hearing music, and what were you hearing?
Well, it sounds cliche, but my father was a saxophonist. That's how you say it, right? He was a saxophonist, and I have an uncle. Well, I have a couple uncles who are musicians, but then I have an uncle who's a singer. He's actually a celebrity and tours overseas. So music always been in my blood, but I was more of a dancer growing up. I was dancing. That was my thing. So music always been, it's been in me, since forever. And then, like I say, I grew up dancing, and the rapping came way later in life. So that's how it started.
So how would you compare the differences between your dancing and your music?
It's not really a difference because both of them allow you to express yourself and emotions. Then it just comes down to what type of dancing you are doing and what type of music you're doing. But at the end of the day, music is international. Music is an international language. Whether you dance into it, whether you sing it, whether you rap it, everybody can relate to music. So that's the reason why when, we go through certain things, we either gonna put a song that's gonna make us feel better, or there might be a song that we're gonna listen to and we're gonna cry to it. That's what music is. Or when we dance, we're gonna express ourselves through the music. So it's really not a difference. It's really the same thing at the end of the day. It's about emotion and feeling and expressing yourself.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's such a blessing that we get to enjoy music. We get to do what we're passionate about. So you're from France, right?
Yes.
So how long have you lived in the United States?
I have been here I moved here in 2001. So, yes, I was born and raised in France. Yeah, when I left, I was 15 years old. So, my childhood friends, everybody, my family, that's where they are. Well, I'm a little bit scattered everywhere in the world, but for the most part, they are in France.
That's so cool. So when you were in France, did you have any specific music or people that you looked up to for inspiration?
No, because when I was there, well, no, that's a lie. I've always looked up to Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, and God bless her soul, Aaliyah. I don't know. I love Missy. I always love Missy. Her creativity, her style, and Aaliyah the same thing. But again, I didn't really know too much about what I'm doing now because back then I was little. I was dancing. I wasn't really worried about, what am I gonna be when I grow up? It was more about, me being a child. But there was a lot of times where I have an older brother, so he introduced me to rap music because he was always listening to, the rapping, Biggie and, Fugees and, Little Kim, Foxy Brown. And so, me and my cousin, we used to pretend that we were in a group. And although we didn't know how to speak English and we didn't know what the lyrics meant, but we will always try to rap along to it. And, I I'm not, I like everybody, to be honest. I don't really have a specific person that I could say, oh my God, I love this person so much. Like, I'm very versatile, so I listen to everything. I have more genre that I will listen to more, but I'm open to all sort of music at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So, okay, so how did you come about starting to rap, and when are some of your first memories of rapping and songwriting and recording?
It was probably around 2000. I was already here in New York, and it was probably around 2011, 2012. I was hanging out with one of my friends, and at the time I was in fashion. So, shout out to Heidi Humble. I was doing fashion, not a model, but I was working with a designer, recruiting models and stuff like that. And one day I was like, I want to rap. Everybody is rapping. So if everybody could do it, I could do it too. And that's how it started. So I did a song with my friend. I wrote my first verse. That was my first time writing a song, like a verse, period. I didn't know too much about music. I knew about music, but I didn't know I never written a song before. So I wrote my first verse and he wrote the second verse. And then we went to the studio and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then that's how it started. I started to write more, and the more I would write, the better I became. And I just, the recording process was it's so much fun to me. Because I get to be me. So I write my own songs and I get to, it's me. Like, I'm in my own lane. Nobody could ever say, oh, she sounds like this, she looks like that. I've always been different. And I have always been me since I was a little girl. So the more I wrote, like I said, the better I became. And that's really how it all started. And I just like the fact that if you go back to my first song, to my last song, you could see the growth. As well as in my videos, you could see me growing and evolving and becoming better every time. So that's how it started.
Wow, I love that. All the way from France to New York. And I mean, when you get to New York, I mean, you kind of got to rap, or you probably, you just felt the spirit of it, right? Because
then it was really like everybody's rapping in here. Like every time I turn around, there's a rapper. So I want to be a rapper too. That's really what it was. Like, I really want to do this too. Everybody is doing this, so why can't I do it? I want to do it. And
yeah.
It was really a challenge. And then I fell in love, and I said, no, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is my career right here. I want to be a rapper. So here we are.
That's so cool. That's so cool. It's kind of similar for me. I like to rap too, but I just practiced for a long time. I never thought, I could be a rapper or I could make a song. Mm-hmm. But turns out, after all this time, I'm pretty good at writing songs.
See?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So when you write music and you are doing your verses and your lyrics and you're recording, there's the artistry aspect of it, right? And then once you start to become a little more serious, you get into the business side of it. So let's speak on that business side of it and how you are adapting into the music industry, and let us know about any struggles that you may have faced while trying to get your music heard and get your music out there.
The good thing about it now is that there's a lot more independent female artists that are being recognized. So shout out to all the female artists, because there are a lot. And, you know, I support everybody, and I support females as well. But when you are an independent artist and you're coming up in the game, it's hard because you're making a name for yourself. And when you don't really have the team to back you up, you have to do the work on your own. You know, so you have to, you know, look for the beat. You have to write the song. Then you have to go to the studio. Then you got to find the shows. Then you got to do this. You got to do that. It's a lot. And the main thing as an independent artist is you cannot get discouraged, because sometimes you will have that moment of, you know what, maybe I shouldn't. You always run into that moment of feeling discouraged, like, because everything is just not happening the way you want it to happen. But then again, everything takes its time, and you got to give time its time, and you got to wait for your turn. And, you know, it's not easy, but if you believe in what you do, there are going to be people that are not going to like your music. And I think that's one thing that we have to understand as artists, is that not everybody is going to like our music. Not everybody are going to relate. Not everybody are going to support us. Not everybody is going to like what we do. Some people are going to laugh at us. Some people are going to say, that's not it, you know. But you have to believe in yourself, because ultimately it's about you. So if you believe that you have something, you just got to keep working on it, and your time eventually will come. It will come. I haven't really ran into any, well, I actually did struggle. I will say I did run into it for the first time. I did a song, a French song. I don't know if you guys heard it, the Je vais encore, new song that I just did. And I actually shot the video Friday, and I was excited about it, and I promoted the video, and I put it out. And 24 hours within me releasing the video, I took it down. I realized, I said, nah, I'm not happy with it. And this is the first time, that's the first time of me doing music and shooting videos where I actually went into this problem. And that made me realize, like, wow, like, I'm actually growing now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to put out, at the end of the day, my name is on it. My shooter's name is on it. Shout out to Point Blank BX. And we have been, you know, for the past 5 years, any music videos that we put out, I've always been A1. And this video that I'm talking about now wasn't it. So I decided to take it down, and I'm going to reshoot it, you know. And sometimes, although there were people in the video, and I appreciate everybody that came out, but sometimes when you have people on set, some people don't follow direction. Some people show up late. Some people want to do what they want to do, and they don't understand that one little mistake throws off the whole dynamic of everything. And it's not, at the end of the day, it's about me. It's about my work. So if I'm not happy with it, I'm not happy with it. So that's the first time I really ran into a struggle musically when it came down to the business, is this video right here. Because usually we do a video and I'm so happy about it, and we released it and the numbers is going up, but this one wasn't it. So a lot of people ask me about it. What happened to it? What happened to it? And I said, no, I took it down. I wasn't happy with it. And at the end of the day, you don't have no choice but to understand and respect that. You know, I'm doing this for me, but I'm also doing it for my fans. And, you know, everything that I'm doing has to be somewhat perfect is a big word, but it has to be great. And every videos that we put out has to be better than the last one, because we want to elevate and we want to get bigger. And, you know, I'm not gonna put something out there that I'm not feeling. So that's the first time really that I went into a struggle. Other than that, it's a cool ride. I mean, it gets frustrated at times, um, because the you grow and you keep growing, and then you start to see certain things, and you start to understand a lot more things. Um, and you have to also be careful because it's a business where they pull you with money, so you have to be aware of what you're doing because you could go broke really fast being an independent artist. Because when you do shows, you have to pay here, you have to pay there, and then you got to start realizing, okay, I have to do shows for people to know who I am, but then you get to a point where you're like, hold up, I don't want to keep paying somebody $100, $150 just for me to perform in front of a regular crowd. What am I gaining out of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's tough, but again, when you love what you do, it's not work. So you just got to be smart about your every move, and you got to start thinking logically a little bit more. And every single move that you make have to make sense. That's what I will say.
Yeah, I completely understand everything that you just said, and I'm glad that you touched on that. And to sum it up for everybody that is listening to this later, make sure that you are satisfied with the work that you are putting out.
Yeah.
Do not put out garbage
Yeah.
that is not speaking to your soul.
Exactly.
Every piece of your art that speaks to your soul, that's what you distribute to your fans. That's what you distribute to your supporters. But you do not put out a piece of garbage that you worked on for 2 seconds and then expect a big outcome off of it. But also, don't overthink. Sometimes don't overthink it because you never know. The most authentic thing that you can do is just give people your best, honestly.
Yeah. And sometimes you might have what for me, we went into this problem also because this is my first time doing drill. And for my shooter, that's really, I usually do funny songs, but sometimes you may have a vision and, you might think that this is it. And then when you look at it, you realize, no, that's not it. You know what I mean? So you got to do it again. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with saying, no, I don't like it. That's not what we want. That's not what I want. So we got to do it again. Sometimes you might have to do it 3 times over. But like you said, at the end of the day, you have to be happy. You have to be satisfied because that's your job. That's your name. There's other people involved, so it's not just about you at the end of the day. It is about you, but it's also about the people that surround you, that's helping you put your vision into life. So make sure, like you said, you have to be satisfied with everything you put out. And sometimes you may not have the budget, so you may want to wait. It's better, they say quality over quantity, right? It's better to put out 2 great music videos a year versus trying to do 4, 5, 6 and then don't really look right at the end of the day. So, I learned my lesson, and I'm happy actually, to be honest, that I ran into this problem because it was a lesson learned that eventually I would have ran into, but I'm glad that it happened now because I learned from it. And sometimes you gotta, what you may think it is may not be. And it's okay to go back and switch it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing now. Like I said, we're gonna shoot the video, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
So are we. I mean, we're waiting on the video to drop, and I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be great. So
yeah.
Yes, and the lyrics are in French, right?
Yes. So I'm trying to we're doing a different route. Shout out to my family, HD Mad Cool, helping me with that aspect. And also my best friend Way How. And again, all my videos are being shot by Point Blank BX, but I'm doing a different route. A lot for many, many years, My best friend used to tell me, you need to rap in French. Forget the English. And, when you have other people in your ear, sometimes, like I said, everything is timing. So this is the time now. Like I said before, there's a lot of talented independent artists right now. So what can I do that's going to make me stand out a little bit more? And French is my primary language, so why not use it? You know what I'm saying? So that's the lane that we on right now. So we're gonna ride it for a little while.
I love that. I think it's a great idea. And, you being who you are is what makes you special. So let that shine. And I love music in other languages. So, maybe you could put some captions on there in English. You could have the English captions. And
See that's the thing. I had this conversation with somebody before, not to cut you off. Someone asked me that, or maybe you should have subtitles. And I told that person, I said no, because what I'm saying in French, me translating it in English is not gonna be the same. It's not gonna hit the same. So why don't you learn French? How about that? So, they started laughing, and I'm like, no, I'm serious. I said, because when you go to France, when, all the celebrities go to France and they give a concert, we may not know everything that they're saying. We may not even understand the song, but I guarantee you every time that DJ cuts up the music, we're gonna say a word that's similar to whatever it is that is in the song, because we're making the effort. See, over here, and I always say that, like, I feel like Americans sometimes are being lazy when it comes to learning a new language. I'm not asking for anybody to be fluent, but sometimes, it's good to be able to go back and say, you know what, let me figure out what she's saying. There's nothing wrong with you picking up a book or Googling a word, because I do it, like I said, when you go to France, we do that. So why can't y'all do it here? Like, it's not hard. I could tell you what I'm saying, but for me to translate word for word or to turn it into English translation, it's not going to have the same meaning. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't do it that way, but again, I could tell you what I'm saying, but I can't translate it word for word because it's going to be different words. It's a different language. So sometimes I wish that people would, over here, will make the effort to want to learn something different. I feel like a lot of time is, if you don't speak English or if you don't speak Spanish, oh, it sounds good. I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds good. Or maybe you should, or somebody will look for a song or a new artist, and then you send them a song that has a different language. They'll tell you, oh, it sounds dope, but that's not what I'm looking for. So then you're like, why? Because I don't speak English, So I cannot put subtitles in the song only because it's not gonna have the same meaning, unfortunately. But the lyrics are up on the internet, so anybody are more than welcome to go and just look at a couple words, and that's it. That's all I'm asking, just for just for people to just learn a couple words. That's all I want.
Social media game changers. Are you ready to take your brand to the next level?
It's time to step up your game with the Mixtape Queens. We specialize in all things social media, from graphic design, music, photography, and videos. We got everything you need.
Whether you're a business looking to boost your brand, an influencer looking to expand your following, or wanting to just get yourself heard, the Mixtape Queens got you.
Want to contact us? Go to our website at mixtapequeens.com. That makes a lot of sense. It really does, because you're right. It doesn't translate, right? And unless we start to learn French, then we don't really get the whole gist of what you're saying.
Right.
So, well, how do you feel about telling us just maybe a quick overview about what the song is about, maybe the vibe of it, so we can just be prepared?
You can drop a bar or two.
The song is really about wanting more out of life. It's about making more money, doing what you love, being up at night trying to figure out a way to get to your destination. It's really what it's all about. It's believing in yourself. So it's positive talk. Um, um, and that's really all it is. It's positive. Any songs that I do are usually positive. I only talk about what I could relate to. I cannot talk about something I cannot relate to, because then I have to explain it. And if I haven't gone through it, then how can I explain something I don't know about? So I never do that. But I try to be positive in my songs, because I'm also a mother. So my son is always listening to my music, and he repeats everything I say. So now I'm being more careful how I rap, and I try to even curse less or not curse at all. But that song, yeah, that's all it says, to get to make more money and believe in what you do, and keep grinding and just keep working and believe in yourself and just keep going, and you will get there eventually. You just gotta hold on and wait for your turn. Everybody has their turn. So that's what I'm saying.
It sounds very motivational, and those are the French words that I want to learn too.
It is that.
Yes, I have a lady in France that I follow. Her name is Lilou Massé, and I've been following her for years. And sometimes she does English interviews, but most of her stuff is in French. And I'm like, I don't know what she's saying, but I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to learn a language. When I came here, I didn't know how to speak English. The English they teach us in France is you can't hold a conversation with that. It's just strictly grammar. What's your name? And this is a pen. This is a table. So I really had to learn English when I came here. And they tell you like the best way to learn a language is when you actually live there. But sometimes there's nothing wrong with educating ourselves. And I'm not saying that because I'm doing a song in French. At the end of the day, I have a French community too behind me, so I'm not really worried about that. But it's always good to educate ourselves. You never know, who you might run into one day. And if you know a couple of words, hey, you might be able to help somebody in that language, because not everybody knows English, not everybody knows Spanish, not everybody knows French neither. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with learning a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes that's where we lack, because we're so comfortable with certain things that we like, whatever, And we should be able to educate ourselves a little bit more sometimes. Take the time. 5 minutes is a long time, so we just got to make the time for it, and we have to want to do it too at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Yes, Queen. Yes, I agree with you 100%. And you're right. You're right. So how do you define success as a musician, and what are your personal goals for your music career?
I want to get to a point where when I start touring, people rap along with me. That's like my biggest dreams. Like I want to perform, and I think that for any artist, when you're on stage and you have your fans rapping to your song, singing, saying the words, it's such a beautiful moment, and I cannot get this moment out of my head. So this is really what I want. Like shows and stuff, that's gonna come, but this is the moment that I wanna have those moments. Those moments where, damn, I made it. Like we here, like this is incredible. That's what I want, and I get there, when the time is right. So yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, well, we're going to learn some French so that when your song comes out, we're going to learn some words so we can be there singing it for you.
I appreciate it.
You already know. Yes. Okay, so we have a lot of listeners around the world who are aspiring artists or entrepreneurs, and we try to give everybody something to leave with, and you've given a lot of inspiration and motivation to us in this conversation. But can you touch on specifically some motivation for the people who are out there and they're listening and they're struggling and they're going through hard times and they're having trouble seeing the light when it comes to following their dream? What do you have to say to them?
What's in your vision that you have in your head, it's in your head. You cannot force it onto somebody else for them to understand what you're seeing in your head, because that's why it's in your head. So if in your heart is really what you want, you wake up every day with this vision in your head, you go about your day and you're thinking about it, you go to bed and that's what you see, follow it. Not everybody is going to support you. Don't expect your friends or your family to support you all the time, because the reality is they don't owe you anything. So you have to keep working, even if it's you by yourself. Don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about the following. You know what I mean? What's meant for you is meant for you, and you will get there. Always remember that a cloud doesn't stay over your house forever. Eventually, it will move away for the clear sky to come through. It's just temporary. So just hang on, hold on, and believe in yourself. The negativity is going to come. You're gonna have you are going to have negative thoughts. That's part of life. But you also got to learn how to shake those off too, and be more positive. And again, if you, there's nothing that nobody can do in life. It's really about finding what it is that you love, and then figuring out how to get there and go about it the right way. And everything else gonna follow after that. A lot of times for us artists, we get frustrated the most with the support. That's really why we get frustrated the most, because we're like, if such and such was supporting me and we sharing the this, that, and the third, I will have much more numbers. I get frustrated all the time with that. If my family or if my friends and this, that, and the third, well, my numbers would have been higher. But then I had to understand, listen, they don't owe me anything. But I do know they're watching everything I do. So I'm cool with that. You don't have to like my music. You don't have to hit like. You don't have to share nothing. I know you're watching, so you're still a fan at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So be consistent, have discipline, believe in yourself. And when you have those moments of weakness or hard times, whether it's with your career or in life in general, always keep in mind that it's just temporary and it will pass. So keep it moving. Don't give your attitude, don't give your energy where it's not needed, or don't spend more time, how can I say it? Like, if don't put your energy where it's not needed, or don't put your energy where it's not deserved. You have to learn how to figure out what's what and who's who, and what's for you and what's not for you. And once you know that, then you'll be all right. Life is life, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's hard. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you believe in yourself and you have the motivation, and sometimes you might lose the motivation as well, but if you continue to push, the motivation is going to come back. And have discipline, and everything else will follow.
Period. Ah, yes, Queen.
Oh, yes.
Beautifully said. And this is a very powerful episode. We're excited that we got to have you on here, and we want everybody that's listening to go follow French Babii on Instagram, Apple Music, Spotify. All of the links will be in the description of the podcast. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me. Y'all are so beautiful. Listen, I'm following y'all. I see everything that you are doing, and I commend you, because sometimes it's not easy, but I see you, and I salute you, ladies. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward.
Oh, we really appreciate that. We appreciate your time and energy, and you taking time out to have this conversation with us and bring your light to the forefront, because it's all about the queens, baby.
I know, right?
Yes,
definitely.
Yes. So we will be tapping in with you again soon for another episode. We know for sure we want to see you in person next time.
I'm with it.
And we love you.
Yes,
I love you more. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me. It was great. And, we'll talk behind the cameras, You know how we
already know. And thank you too.
Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of the day.
All right, you too.
Thank you, guys.
Rise like a phoenix into a realm of the unknown.